What's up guys? I'm back with another video, an update on my second round of Clomid, and sorry the background is boring today, but my neighbor is like mowing his lawn at the back of the house, which is where I usually film in my room, and then my washer's going off. So I am filming at the front of the house, and so hopefully you guys can't hear the background noise. So I won't keep you in suspense. I did ovulate, yay! So when I left off on my last video, I had gotten an ultrasound on cycle day 12, and I also had gotten labs. And my nurse called me and said that my LH level was at like 20. And she said, we want it to be at 24 for ovulation, so you're almost there. So, you know, this is awesome, great news. So I felt like it wasn't really likely that I was gonna ovulate that early because I hadn't ovulated that early in my cycle, really since I've been tracking things, but I was like, oh, maybe this one, I'm like, my body's getting to be like more normal. So I went back the next day for labs and my LH dropped to 14.8. And then I went again the next day and it had dropped to 10. And I went one more time. Now we were at Saturday, which was cycle day 15, and it was at like 10.3. So nowhere near ovulation. So by then I was like exhausted of going to the lab every morning at 7 a.m. So I took Sunday and Monday off. And then I went to the lab on Tuesday, which was cycle day 18. And my LH was like 52. So that was really good news. I definitely ovulated. I asked the nurse, like, you're looking for it to be 24. Mine was 52. Like, is it bad that it's so much higher? And she was like, don't read into it. You ovulated, like, it's not a big deal. So I don't know what that means. If you guys have gotten an LH of like in the 50s on a blood test and your doctor explained that it meant something different, then let me know in the comments. But like, I'm hoping that that's, you know, cause I took Clomid, maybe it like the levels are higher than you would normally see. So that was really exciting. It did take longer than we originally anticipated, but I did ovulate around the same time that I've been ovulating, so it wasn't really that much of a surprise. I did track my temperature, and my temperature also indicated that I ovulated on that same day, so that was nice to see that like my labs matched what my fertility friend app was showing. So I'll show you guys what that looked like. So you can see my temperature. I didn't start tracking it until like a week and a half into my cycle, but my temperature was kind of all over the place, and then it dropped, and then it slowly went up over the last few days. And so the red line shows like that's when it estimated that I ovulated on cycle day 18. Today is cycle day 23, and I am 5 DPO today. So overall, this round of Clomid I didn't think was as bad as last month, or like the last time I did it. The symptoms weren't as bad. I didn't have as much night sweats. I didn't have as much pain with ovulation. Like, it was definitely uncomfortable, like the days leading up to ovulation. If like I sneezed, it kind of like felt like my ovaries gonna explode, but they weren't as bad as I remember it being last time, so that was really good. Overall, I'm really glad that I did the labs this cycle and had some monitoring, because it just gave me the peace of mind that I needed. And with PCOS, you can get false positive ovulation tests, and like seeing it in the labs was really kind of comforting, because I was at like almost about to ovulate with an LH of 20, and then it dropped and then went back up later. And that's what happens when you have PCOS, is your body tries to ovulate and then you don't. So you get a positive ovulation test, or like close to, looks like it's gonna be positive, and then it goes away. So it just like helped me mentally connect what was actually going on with my hormones when I saw it in like a number from my labs to match like what I sometimes see on the little like ovulation predictor kits that you just dip it in your pee. So 5 DPO, way too early to feel any symptoms. I'm obviously like a little more hopeful this cycle than last cycle. Not obviously, but I'm more hopeful this cycle than last cycle that I did Clomid, because it's the second time, and I feel like if it's going to work, then, you know, each time you do it, you have a better chance of it working, because you've tried it more times, I guess. So I am still nervous that my lining didn't thicken enough. I only got one ultrasound on cycle day 12, so I don't know if it got any thicker than, I think it was like at a 3. But we're like another week out, so that's a lot of time for the lining to build up. So hopefully it did. Also, I don't know what my progesterone level is because they didn't say I need to get a progesterone test. And last time that I did, my doctor said your progesterone number doesn't really indicate that much whether like it's going to be a successful cycle. So that's not what I've read, but that's what she said, and she's supposedly a really good doctor at a really good hospital. So again, if you guys have heard differently about your progesterone level, if that's like a good indicator of whether you have enough progesterone to have a successful cycle, then please let me know in the comments, because I'm interested to hear what you guys have experienced talking to your doctor. So it's way too early to feel symptoms, but like, I don't know, this month I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but I do have my hopes up. So that's just what it is. So symptom wise, I noticed the past few days that I've at night especially felt like I had like the beginnings of a UTI. And like when I peed, it like burned a tiny bit. And then, I felt like a little more needing to pee more frequently. But I have been trying to drink more water, and today, like, I haven't felt any UTI symptoms, so maybe I was starting to get one and it went away, or maybe that's a symptom of like progesterone. I don't know, it could be nothing, it could be something, but that's one thing that has been going on. The other thing that I noticed just starting today is that I have like a little bit of like pinching and cramping in my uterus area. So again, that's happened other cycles, and I haven't been pregnant before. So I remember like around day 5 or 6, like DPO, I've had that symptom. So again, I'm not reading into it too much, but obviously I am hopeful that like it does mean something good, although it's too early to really have any symptoms or for that to mean anything. I'm still gonna hope. So I know that like you can't feel anything, you don't really know 5 days after ovulation because implantation hasn't happened yet, but I don't care. I'm still gonna think that maybe that's a good sign. So I am going on vacation next weekend. So I'm leaving on the 4th of May. And by then I will be cycle day 28, and what DPO will that be? I will be 10 DPO by the time we leave for our trip, so I don't think I'm going to test before we leave because I think it's too early to know, and I don't want to be disappointed. And normally my luteal phase, like the time between ovulation and getting your period, has been like maximum 10 or 11 days. So if I get my period while we're on our trip, then I'll know, you know, it didn't work. But if I don't get my period while we're gone, then I will be have my hopes very high that when we get home, I will get a positive pregnancy test, because we will get home on cycle day, let's see, 10, 11, 12. Cycle day 13, the end of cycle day 13. It's a quick like weekend trip we're going on. So yeah, that's pretty much where we'll be at next week. That's pretty much it for now. I will keep track of my symptoms over the next week, definitely, because that's the week where you could potentially actually feel a symptom, although a lot of women don't. It's possible, so just for like, you know, down the road looking back, just to know what symptoms were normal around that time or not normal or whatever. And we will see what happens. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did hit 100 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for subscribing. It makes me really happy that people enjoy these videos and you want to see more. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.